All right, what's up, guys? So today I'm going to be talking about why God exists. Um, how how you can just look at anything and see the proof of God. See the proof that God has created everything. You can see it in everything. You can see it in all of creation. Um, so there's so many examples that we can point to, but I'm just gonna say the reasoning behind these examples. So the reasoning is that order is created by intelligence, and order is only created by intelligence, and it's only created with work, right? So when you look at all of creation, like the whole world basically, it's all so ordered. It like nature is so ordered. It's just so complex. Like we know from science, like the investigation of nature, like we have a whole study on nature itself. It's called science. We literally like that's like one of the biggest things that we study is the world around us because we're trying to understand still God's order after all these years that civilization has been alive, and man hasn't even come close to fully comprehending like all elements of creation. We don't even know like we don't even really know how time works, because we can't imagine anything outside of time. We don't even really know how all of the dimensions work because we've mathematically proven them, but we can't imagine them in our heads because we've never experienced something like that. So we have no idea of the fullness of the creation that we're living in. And what I'm saying about the order is when you look at like anything, like literally anything, like how the seasons they change, how certain times in the year are ordered, how the soil is made up of different materials, and how all those materials work together to go into plants and create new life, and how those plants are then eaten by animals or humans, and how the animals are structured on a cellular level. Each cell is like its own little kingdom, and there's pathogens and different like elements trying to get into these cells, and they only let certain things in. And then they have the nucleus, the DNA, which is the genetic code of life, and it's so complex to the point where we can't even begin to fathom the complexity of DNA. Like it's something that we could never recreate at all. It's literally ridiculous. Like the most complex computer program doesn't even hold a candle to the complexity of DNA. You can look it up. The guy who discovered DNA literally became a Christian. I mean, it's like it's insane, because that's the order that's on a cellular basis. Like if you understand how small a cell is compared to the whole universe, and then you understand that DNA is even a smaller part of that cell, and you understand the complexity in DNA, it's like that's so small compared to the to to the to the reality of the creation that we're living in. And you just look at all of that, and you look at the level of order and the level of planning and the level of effort that had to have been made to create all that, and it's like, how can you say there is no God? This is why it says in the Bible that only a fool says that there is no God, because they're operating out of foolishness that the devil has put in them. They're operating out of pride. They don't want to accept the fact that is screaming to them from all of creation. Literally, it's screaming at you because it's so obvious. It's so obvious. Because what you have to understand is that nothing outside of intelligence can create order. Chaos never creates order. It's like if when have you ever seen anything come out of nothing? When has a planet just appeared? When has a a building just appeared out of nowhere? When has somebody's house just appeared out of nowhere? Just without anybody touching anything, it just appears. That would be like randomly like a giant like the Pyramid of Giza. Just imagine the Pyramid of Giza appearing randomly over New York and just falling onto New York. It's like it it would never happen. It doesn't make it makes literally zero sense for that to happen, because there has to be a cause to every there has to be a cause behind everything, right? There has to be a cause. But what you have to understand is that God made all of this. God made all of these things because he's the origin of the order. You know what I'm saying? And you think, okay, who created God, right? You think that. But what you have to understand is that time, we don't understand time. Okay? Time is a physical property. That's pretty much the extent of our understanding. Time can be manipulated by gravity, by the speed of light, and by all of these things. And it's like, if you get into it, modern science, like modern physics, like y equals mc squared or whatever, the thing that it overlooks is that it overlooks the speed of light. So the speed of light, if you look at the past, if you look at past records of people taking the speed of light, of people measuring the speed of light, it has been getting slower and slower and slower over time. And that is a product of entropy. It's a product of the energy leaving the universe, of light itself leaving the universe, because when darkness comes, darkness just corrodes, and it just grows and grows and grows, and it just eats off of. So when creation fell, the darkness came into creation, and it literally just poisoned creation. So it's slowly killing it over time. So the light is getting slower and slower and slower over time. So what you have to understand is, when the speed of light is fast, when the speed of light is faster, time itself goes faster. Because you have to understand when, like, you can understand it like this, like when light hits something, that light reflects off of that object and reflects into your eyes, right? That light reflects and it produces like information, right? And the faster that light is, the more information there will be. The faster that light is, the faster that time will go. And like the faster time itself can flow, right? Because time is edited, time will be edited by the speed of light, right? So that's the thing that science overlooks, is they take speed of light as a constant, but it's not a constant. It's getting slower and slower and slower. You can see this in all the times that the speed of light has been measured. If you want to see this explained, I recommend watching Chuck Missler's The Bible in 24 Hours. Just watch the first one on Genesis, and he'll explain all of this. This is where I got this from. He literally goes in depth on each individual example of the speed of light, right? And this is what it means. It means that if you go all the way back to the beginning of creation, the speed of light was instant, right? The speed of light was instant. This is what it means when it says in the Bible that God alone dwells in eternal light. Eternal light is light that is instantaneous. It's like it has no speed, because the speed is just automatically there, right? So when you have that speed of light, you're outside of time. You see everything, because time literally ceases to exist. So you enter into eternity, right? Because all time is there at one point. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, when creation fell, light and darkness entered in, and light instantly started to get slower, right? So, but it started at infinity. So right at the point when creation fell, light was going super fast, right? Like super fast. So you can look at it on like I think it's, Chuck Missler explains it, but I'm pretty sure if I'm remembering correctly, it's a y equals cosecant squared curve. And the curve goes like this, right? It's almost like an acceleration graph, but it's like in the first quadrant, if you know math, the first quadrant is the top right section of a coordinate plane, right? So it's like the vertical asymptote, like the line which it never crosses, is 0. And the like right at like 1 second, like if you go down, and time would be the x-axis, right? So if you go to like right at 0, it's literally like straight up, that's the speed of light. And then it comes down, and then it comes down, and then it planes. And right now we've gotten to the point where it's planing kind of, and it's slowing down slower and slower and slower. And then its horizontal asymptote will be um, the x-axis, right? So anyway, that means that God created the world. It's like God could create the world in 7 days because the speed of light was instant. It was outside of time. It was in eternity. You know what I'm saying? So it's like time didn't apply, you know? The 7 days were 7 days in eternity, So literally it was like all that formation, all of that light, if you go back and you look back in time and you're like, how did all this, like, why have we lived 4 billion years? How's this created? How did this last this long? It's because it was in eternity, and it's because the speed of light was so fast to the point where time didn't even, like, it didn't even exist, And so as we've been getting older, the speed of time has been getting slower and slower and slower. You don't notice it because it's just from day to day. You're just going throughout your day, but it has been getting slower. And it's been doing that ever since creation fell. So that's why the Earth looks like it's so old, but in actuality, it's extremely young. It's a lot younger than all these scientists say it is, and it's like, so yeah, anyway, so yeah, going back to the order and disorder thing, chaos can create nothing. Chaos creates nothing, right? So for nothing to come out of for something to come out of nothing, especially all of creation with the insane order that it has, it's just asinine. It's so stupid for you to say that. It's like it's absolutely so stupid. You don't have understanding. You need understanding is what you need. You know what I'm saying? You need understanding that it's like, no, intelligence creates order. It's so obvious. But people just don't have this broken down to them in a way. Like the thing that it is it's Satan inside of you veiling your eyes from the truth. That's the only reason that you believe in that. That's the only reason that you believe there is no God. You know what I'm saying? Because when Satan has such a hold on your mind, and when you have this pride in your mind, and when you have this, bitterness inside of you of the world, it's like you just can't see it. You need someone to open your eyes. And I'm trying to do that for you right now, man, because I know God and I've felt the Holy Spirit in my heart, and it's a guarantee once you feel it, and for you to come to Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit and God the Father, at first, it's going to be by faith. It has to be by faith, because it shouldn't be by faith, right? The only reason it's by faith is because the devil has deceived people away from all of the signs that God has given us, right? So the devil deceives you away from seeing the order in creation, from seeing how it must be God. The devil deceives you away from all these people who've had near-death experiences, from all these people who've seen Jesus, seen God, literally had visions, And these visions, a lot of them corroborate each other. That's what brought me to God in the first place. I was watching near-death experiences on Hell, and I saw these near-death experience stories, and it's like these people didn't know each other, and they were saying the same exact things. Specifically, it was one punishment in these videos. It was the punishment for a pastor who steals tithes from the church, right? And this punishment was that he was laying in a coffin. He was in this big room, and demons were surrounding him with spears, taunting him. And he was calling out to God. And like 3 different videos from random people on the internet said this same, said this same punishment for the same sin. And I was like, holy crap, like this is real. This has truth in it. And it put the fear of God in me. And I was like, I have to pray, I have to ask Jesus into my heart. I'm not saved, and I received the Holy Spirit that night. It changed my life. And when the Holy Spirit came into me, I started crying, man. I was like, this is God. Like I found God, because like when you feel the Holy Spirit, instantly you know that it is God. Instantly you know that God is real. instantly you just, it's a guarantee in your heart, because it's like you just feel it and you know him, because you were created by him and you were created to house his spirit. You were created to be a temple of the Holy Spirit, and it's like you're fulfilled then. But so yeah, so when you come to Jesus and you come to God and you come to the Holy Spirit, it's going to be by faith in the first in at first. Like, you're going to have to come by faith, but you can seek out that faith, and you can seek out things like by watching the near death experiences on hell, and just praying a prayer, just doing a shot in the dark. A shot in the dark is all you need, man. A shot in the dark is all you need. All you need to do is be like, hey, if this guy's telling the truth and I don't get saved, I'm going to be burning in hell forever, right? So let me just say some words and just ask God if he's real to reveal himself for me, And so it's just like, Father, or you don't even call him Father because he's not your father yet. God, the Most High God, whoever is God in the world, I don't know you. I want to know you. I know that you're real. Show me, who are you? Which God are you? And even if you don't know that he's real, show me if you're real, please. If you're Jesus Christ, show me. I want to know you, and he'll meet your prayer of faith with grace, bro. He'll meet your prayer of faith. And it's like, you just, Jesus appeared to 500 people. Jesus appeared to the disciples, in person. It's like, if we had done our job as historians, as like if Satan hadn't deceived people away from recording that, then it would be like a historical event, And it's like, Satan has hidden these things. There is a kingdom. There was literally Nazis, because that's all they are. The demons, the kingdom of darkness, they're literally Nazis. Okay, these Nazis are trying to kill you. They're trying to make you get tortured forever. And the only way that they can do that is by deceiving you for long enough until you die. And when you die, the test is taken. It's over. You're screwed. You're going to hell, And it's like, that's all they care about. They want you to be burning with them because it pisses God off. That's it. They want to piss God off because they know they're screwed. They know they're burning. They know they're defeated. Jesus Christ did that on the cross. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, they want you with them, bro. And you're playing into their trap. They hate you. They hate you when you're doing all this fornication, sexual immorality, stealing from people, killing people. When you're lying, when you're doing all this stuff, you're choosing to go to hell, man. You're choosing to go to hell, but you don't know it. And that's why you just need to get saved, So I hope this opened your eyes. It's 18 minutes, man. This is a long video, but it's really important, man. And if you don't have faith, if you don't believe in the stuff that I just said, I don't understand how you couldn't, because if like the order thing, it's self-explanatory. And like the light thing, I can see how you might not believe in that, but it's like, just watch Chuck Missler's video, and you'll get wisdom. But, I'm just trying to help you out, man. You can watch my videos. You can watch all of my other videos, and it's like, when you watch them, even if you're in the world, they speak to your spirit, and either you're going to get really angry because it's like the truth confronts the lie that you've accepted in your heart, and you get angry because you're revealed to be a lie at the core of your being, or you're going to be like, there's something up with this guy. You're going to be like, wait a sec. I feel something, there's realness here. There's realness to what this guy's saying. And that, my friend, is the spirit of truth. That's when truth meets your heart, and it's your inner man. It's your life force. It's the speck of light that's inside of your body, that's inside of your heart, calling out to be saved for you, because the speck of light in your heart, like, it's God, it's love. And it's like, he wants God. You want God at your innermost part. You want love at your innermost part. You've never been fulfilled in your life. You've never had God in your life. And it's like, you really need to, it's only pride holding you back from it. It's only pride. You just have to accept that you might be wrong. That's all you have to do. You don't even have to accept that you're wrong. You don't even have to accept that. You just have to accept that you might be wrong. And you just have to pray a prayer of faith for God to reveal to you if he's real. And he'll do it, man. He will do it. So this video is 20 minutes. I'm going to end it here, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, subscribe. If you guys have someone in your life that, doesn't have God, I highly recommend that you send this video to them, because that's why I'm making this video. I'm making this video to reach as many people as possible, to try and show them that, this stuff is real. It's going to get really real on the last day when you're cast into the lake of fire and you're burning forever. You will never eat again. You will never drink anything again. You would kill for the drop of sweat off of somebody's, you would kill for a drop of moisture, because you're going to be burning forever and ever and ever. It's horrible. So I'm just get that in your head, man, because this stuff is real. So yeah, guys, if you enjoyed, subscribe. Peace.